my first test for my microphone setup. So I've got a GoPro Hero 9 with a media mod and just an extension cable directly from the media mod. So I'm hoping that it's actually doing the job, and I'll only know when I get back once I do the editing to see whether this footage was correct and the angle of the camera is correct, and of course the sound quality. So I'm just leaving my house now, here down in the south of Ireland in County Kerry, and just making my way through to Killarney to pick up another SD card. The weather's just been relentless, rain for weeks on end, and I'm getting ready to leave for my 4-month trip in about 10 days time. And yeah, it's a little bit daunting considering the weather has been just like it is, as I'll be camping most of the way on my trip. But yeah, super excited nevertheless to get going. And I think the only thing that's sort of giving me a little bit of concern really is the weather. So yeah, this is a typical road down in south of Ireland, narrow, one way, lots of bushes around, beautiful nevertheless. And this is a typical scenario where we get a one-on-one with a vehicle. Fortunately this guy's happily just decided to reverse. Thank you. Break in the weather here, probably for the next hour or so. Just gives me a chance to get through to Killarney. I must say Killarney is just a very picturesque town. Got some beautiful buildings, lots of history, and popular with tourists coming down to Killarney. So I'm just making my way down here from Carrantoo Hill, which is the highest mountain in Ireland. Just I live on the base or the foot of the mountain, and it's often got its own little climate zone down here. Yeah, I'm riding a really cool bike that I enjoy very much. It's an Aprilia Caponord, it's an ETV1000, and it's got its little quirks, and I think once you know what they are, I must say it's just an incredible engine, bulletproof engine, and you just know the few little things to sort out. There's a couple of electrical wiring issues, the regulator needs to be replaced, as well as the fuel line connections have been known to leak, and I've actually had a few bikes caught in fire, but once you've replaced them with metal connectors, your problem should be solved for good. thing about narrow roads I've just come to realize in living in Ireland is that you got to just be on the lookout permanently for vehicles that are not in, haven't moved over. And I tend to find when being on a motorcycle, they think that you're as narrow as the narrowest thing possible, and they tend not to slow down as much as when you're in a car, which often causes a little bit of concern, I must say. Yeah, the amount of people I've realized that can't reverse properly is just unreal. So, and of course when you're on a bike you can't reverse, so you've just got to expect oncoming traffic to reverse. But yeah, some beautiful roads around Ireland to ride on. So yeah, I'm hoping that this footage is sort of more or less set correctly, the angle of the camera. So I know that we tend to look down and the camera needs to tilt up a little bit. So yeah, the ride from my house, which is in an area called Beaufort, County Kerry, Carrington Hill, in about 15-20 minutes to get to Killarney. And as you can see by the footage, I'm sure there's no doubt why they call Ireland the Emerald Isle. It's just permanently lush and green and just stunning. At least the rain's holding off a little bit because I've got the media mod on and it's not waterproof. So yeah, looking forward to getting back and just checking out the footage, angle of the camera as I said, and yeah, whether the bike's working or not. I've been wanting to do like a little packing list about what I'm taking on my trip. 4 months is quite a long time, and I've been going around in circles with all the different bits of equipment that I need, and trying not to take too much. I also decided, well, I certainly like this GoPro Hero 9, it's just absolutely amazing. So I bought a second camera, which is just an Akaso X50, an inexpensive action camera. It's also 4K, which is good. And yeah, I'm just going to get an SD card for it and then try that out on the bike as well as my second camera. It'll be interesting to see the difference in the footage between the two cameras. A lot of these shrines all over the country. They look really nice. Yeah, a typical road here with stone walls on either side. Not the kind of place you want to go falling off. Limits critical. planned this route to go and have a look at some old abandoned and unknown airfields, starting off in Ireland and then heading up north to Northern Ireland, as well as the Isle of Man. And while at the Isle of Man, the Manx Grand Prix TT is on, which is a real bonus for me as a classic bike racing lover, and I'm looking forward to seeing that spectacle of an event. And while I'm on the airfield, I shouldn't say while I'm on the island, I'm going to also go and have a look at 3 unknown or sort of abandoned airfields that have a lot of history, and I'm looking forward to seeing what those all look like. So yeah, it's just starting to drizzle here again. So if it starts to get a little bit wetter, I'm going to have to stop and get my GoPro off the helmet. Research into that. A lot of camper vans always out as well on the road, all touring around the south of Ireland here in Kerry, especially like the Wild Atlantic Way, and often do the Ring of Kerry route, which is a very popular route. I get out of the bike. I have got some aftermarket exhaust on it, Dominator, which are quite loud, but sort of like loud. This at least allows for people to hear you when you're coming. But yeah, there's so many different variations of this bike and exhaust systems and so on, and they all tend to give you a different kind of fuel consumption. I like to work it out in liters per 100 kilometers. So I'll be documenting that as I go along. I think the route at least 5,000 kilometers, so that's a fair bit of traveling on the bike. And yeah, I've done a lot of traveling in my life, but not necessarily for such long periods, generally for weekends or a week away at a time and so on. So it's going to be quite a learning curve for me, and I look forward to the experience. So we're just coming into the outskirts here of Killarney. Been a keen pilot. I've flown for over 30 years, light aircraft, various different types of aircraft, and during my trip I think I'm going to share I will be sharing some of my flying stories and all the different types of aircraft that I've flown. I think yeah, the two go hand in hand, flying and biking. Some would say extreme sports, which I certainly don't think so. I think just more like just being adventurous and enjoying the freedom of being out. And yeah, I certainly like to ride solo. You know, you can do your own thing, stop when you want to, and never have to really worry about anybody else in the group. Although of course it's always nice just to meet other bikers and chat to them. Such a good camaraderie between any bikers, doesn't matter what you ride. And I've always made a point of just greeting every rider that I see, no matter what they're riding. No matter where you are in Ireland, it's always green and lush like this. And I must say there's some really spectacular routes, especially around the south, down in Kenmare towards Kilgarvan and Cork, Kinsale. Really beautiful parts of the country. See in the camera there, but yeah, there's the current fuel price here in Ireland. So for unleaded it's 169.9 today. That would be euro. I've just got about an hour or so of window here just before it starts pouring down again. So yeah, just going to get this SD card and then heading back and carry on with my planning for the trip. One thing I've realized about starting a YouTube channel is that yeah, there's a lot to learn, but exciting stuff to learn. And I think the hardest part is sort of getting people to like and subscribe to your channel. But you, as they say, if you don't start, you don't get anywhere. So you've got to start somewhere and just start making content that's interesting. So yeah, once I go around this roundabout, I'm actually going to be coming into the city centre, and it goes past the most amazing, beautiful church, and it runs next to the Killarney National Park. I've been hoping that the weather was going to lift. We sort of didn't have much of a summer this year, although it's not that cold. I think it's about 12, maybe 12 to 15 degrees, so it's actually been quite warm. But the little bits of sunshine here and there. Yeah, that's the most stunning church. One thing I always worry about with wet roads is diesel spillage. That's always such a concern. That's about the only thing that really worries me. Yeah, as all us bikers know those challenges, you've got to keep a lookout for it. Here's sort of part of the main streets, not the main shopping area, but one of the main streets in Killarney. Yeah, let me look for a spot to park. I'll just head down here. Beautiful around. Everyone makes such an effort. The flowers in pots just about everywhere, every bridge. Stunning. And I think whoever's been to Killarney before knows this little roundabout very well. It's called the Ha-Ha, and a lot of horse-drawn carriages that go here down to Macross and to the Killarney Castle. Let me come up and park here by the Curious Cat. Anyway, yeah, so I parked here in Killarney, gonna go and get an SD card and then heading back. So let's hope this footage worked out, as well as the sound quality. That's really the most important thing initially. So thanks for joining this video, and yeah, see you on the next one. Cheers for now.